Very few things are more fun than the quintessential summer shark movie. What could be better than some thrills of sharks eating people? Unfortunately, The Meg 2: The Trench fails to deliver both the fun and the sharks. Hi everyone, Nico Lero here from the Silver Screen Dudes, and this is my official honest review of The Meg 2: The Trench. Now, the movie is a big fat mess, frankly. It's inundated with cons with one or two pros. Let me start off on a positive. Arguably the biggest positive of the movie is Jason Statham. Seeing him do his shtick is always fun. He is oh so charming and oh so entertaining. Despite not being the world's greatest actor, he's still box office. But I've got to get straight into the cons on this one. For what the movie is, it's incredibly long, and you feel that length. I mean, the plot in itself is Jason Statham picks up from where he left off in the first movie, and if you haven't seen the first movie, don't worry, it's not a deep plot. He's now working with the Hainan Aquatic Center. They've got a Meg in captivity, and for some reason, Jason Statham is now fronting a team which is going down into the trench, which was never accessible before, even though I'm pretty sure we went down the trench in the first movie, but I could be wrong on that. We find this other operation who are illegally mining precious metals. And this generic, boring plot takes up 2/3 of the movie, which has a nearly 2-hour runtime. When you look at how the trailer marketed this movie, which is crazy over-the-top shark action, which I would have been all for, that's not what this movie delivers. And frankly, the sharks don't really make an appearance until the last 25 minutes of the movie, which has a 2-hour runtime. And even when the sharks hit, you get all of these characters taking away from the shark action, which is what we came and put our butts in seats for. Now, speaking of these characters, you take Statham out the equation, this movie would be bordering on the unwatchable. Every single character is a boring, tried and tested archetype. The action scenes, if you can call them that, which they permeate, are generic cookie cutter, bland stuff. And the acting which is delivered, I appreciate, I'm not expecting Hollywood caliber acting in a movie called The Meg 2, but it is so bad that it's actually cringeworthy. And not in a good way that it's so bad that it's entertaining and fun, just bad. There's very, very little fun to be had in this movie. And, I mean, the other thing that I think is pretty unforgivable in a shark movie is how bad the sharks look and how bad everything else looks. The CGI looks dated. Now, I appreciate, again, this isn't meant to be hundreds of millions of dollars put into this movie. It's meant to be a cheap, easy thrills movie that is put out there to make easy money. But some effort towards the CGI would have been nice. I mean, this movie genuinely looks like it's 15 years old, and I think that's unforgivable when you see other movies in 2023 which don't have massive budgets behind them, but still look passable on a CG front. This was awful. Now, the other thing I've got to mention is that because they made this, I believe it's a PG-13 rating. I may be wrong, but it felt PG-13 because there's no blood in the movie. There's sharks. A shark movie with no blood, for me, has zero purpose. You know, you want to feel like, ooh, the repercussion when a shark bite or a shark attack happens. None of that. Even the scenes with the sharks, which are few and far between, they don't feel chompy, they don't feel punchy or impactful. It all feels oh so generic. And the last thing I've got to mention is that much like the ending of the first movie was guilty of, this movie is so guilty of being an aggressive, on the nose, non-subtle marketing campaign for please travel to China. It was actually quite gross the way they were trying to push the advertising and the tourism for China. It's like, back off. I get it. This was just like, look, you will come here. You must come here. Look how awesome China tourism is. It's like, back off, man. But let's end on a positive. The other thing, even though the trailers made it look like this was the entire movie, what you saw in the trailers pretty much was the best stuff in the whole movie, to be honest. But when the shark attacks do happen, despite there not being blood, there are some minor thrills to be had. There's moderate fun. Moderate. So in conclusion, I cannot do anything more than score The Meg 2 a 2 out of 10. It lacks thrills, it lacks fun, it lacks blood, it's pumped full of terrible acting, terrible plot, only saved by one or two nice tip-of-the-hat Easter egg moments to other shark movies, and a well-rounded performance from Statham. But would I say see this in the cinema? Absolutely not. Go and see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Go and see Oppenheimer. There are plenty of other movies in the cinema that you should go and support. Stay away from this. Please leave your thoughts and your comments down below of what you thought of The Meg 2. Please do like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next review and on the next video, which should be airing tomorrow right here on the Silver Screen Dudes YouTube channel. Bye, guys.